I walked out the front door of the Capitol, and all you could see was a sea of people. Both estimates were well over 100,000 people showed up.
Oatmeal, Texas. It's an unlikely headquarters for a history-making march, but this hill country home is where Melissa Fierro rallied the troops through Facebook.
I was a grandmother sitting in Oatmeal, Texas, and ended up organizing with a lot of help from a lot of other people, the largest march in Texas history. So I think that women need to hear the story that people run for office. There's nobody super special that needs to run for office. You just have to have the desire.
Fierro says the momentum of the Women's March is fueling a political movement.
They realized that there was power in numbers and that there were numbers. You know, they weren't alone, and that everyday people can step up.
A record number of women are stepping up to run for office in Texas, both Democrats and Republicans. Annie's List reports 117 women have filed as candidates for state and local offices in the 2018 election. That's a 54% increase from 2016. On the national front, though women make up half the U.S. population, they hold only 20% of the seats in Congress, and only 38 of those spots are held by women of color. Considering the diverse field of women coming out of the woodwork to run for Congress, the face of politics is poised to change, and Texas could end a 22-year dry spell.
I first volunteered on a campaign in the 1996 election cycle for a woman named Olivia Udaley. It was my first taste of a congressional campaign. That year, 96, was the last time a new woman was elected to Congress.
Jennifer Sarver is a moderate Republican running for the District 21 congressional seat left open by the retirement of Lamar Smith.
The exciting thing is there are women on both sides of the aisle who are running in Texas. I think that's a good thing. We're half the population. Congress should start to look a little bit more like the population.
Sarver is a former member of the Bush administration who openly supported Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump. She's a long shot in a crowded field of 18 Republicans in her March primary race, but she says the timing is right for more women to have a seat at the table.
We're only going to be treated equal if we start to have a level playing field. And so I think it's going to take a long time before we reach any sort of gender parity in politics, but the surge of women does give me hope.
MJ Hagar is a Democrat running for Congress in a reliably red district. She's hoping her military service will help her in a district that's home to Fort Hood. The Air Force veteran served 3 tours in Afghanistan. In 2009, she saved the lives of her passengers after her medevac helicopter was shot down by the Taliban, and she was awarded the Purple Heart. The military hero's memoir, Shoot Like a Girl, is now slated for the silver screen.
Awesome.
I hope she likes that.
Yeah, she will.
Well, it was good to meet you.
Yeah, and,
Thank you for the support.
Oh, absolutely.
Hagar also won a 2012 lawsuit against the U.S. Defense Department over its policy of excluding women from combat positions, a policy she called a career blocker for women in the military.
Legislation impacts culture. So legislating that women are second class or not as good sends a message and contributes to a culture where women get victimized, where they have high rates of sexual assault against them, where they are just treated as second-class citizens.
In the past, the hardest part of getting women elected to office was convincing them to run. But a pink wave of candidates like Sarver and Hagar is rolling across the country in 2018. And that makes one grandmother in Oatmeal, Texas, swell with pride.
There are going to be a lot of women elected to office in Texas this go-round. And I think that's going to make a difference in how our government works from local, city, and county level all the way up. Big changes are coming in 2018, but they're just the start, and we've got to stick with it. I think that's important.